This video is brought to you by the Deck of Minis new sets of animated spell cards, and by Steamforged Games and their upcoming Kickstarter for Animal Adventures the Faraway Sea. Hello and welcome to the Gallant Goblin. Today we have the next D&D warband for you from WizKids. This time it's orcs. Makes sense, common monsters, travels in warbands. It hasn't been so long since our last warband, which was kobolds. Thank you again to WizKids for sending this to us to review. Again, we get 8 unique sculpts based on various orc stat blocks in the various D&D 5e books. But before we jump in, I just wanted to remind you about an awesome adventure that Grady wrote, and I helped edit. It's called Bhaal Volume 1. It's a bonkers level 20 adventure in which you team up with the god Mystra to make sure that she never gets murdered again. And there's only one way to do that. Bhaal Volume 1 is on dmsguild.com right now. Check it out using the link in the video description below. And now, let's learn about some orcs. We're starting things off with our regular old orc, so let's start with some basic orc info. Their CR1 half stat block is in the basic rules with information about them in the monster manual. You can learn more about them in Volo's Guide to Monsters, which also gives you information about playing an orc PC character. Their playable stats are also in the Explorer's Guide to Wildmount with information on orcs in that setting. So most of the minis here are also usable as PC minis, and of course the half orc is also a core playable race. Orogs are smarter, stronger orcs, supposedly gifted by their goddess Luthic. While a regular orc has an intelligence of 7, the Orog scored a hefty 12 on his orc SAT. So when you're bringing Orogs into battle with your PCs, don't just make them frontline brutes. Orogs may hatch a cunning plan, flank their foes, set traps, or even set up an ambush. Orogs are also generally untrusted by their orc brethren, so there may be a way to drive a wedge between them if the party is trying to take down a large orc warband. They have a CR2 stat block in the monster manual. The Orc Claws of Luthic are female orcs who have learned magics to care for and defend their tribe and who have grown out their claws to be that much more formidable. They are essentially clerics of Luthic, who is the wife of Gruumsh and the paragon of maternity to the orcs. They have spells like Bestow Curse, Warding Bond, Augury, Cure Wounds, and Guiding Bolt. They have a CR2 stat block in Volo's Guide. On first glance, this mini looks just like the Orc Claw of Luthic mini we got in the Volo's Immortan Canaan set. They're both clearly inspired by the same piece of art. When you look at them side by side though, you'll see subtle differences. They are different sculpts. I do wish they'd had a little bit more to differentiate them though. So when an orc slays a dirty, filthy elf and offers it up to Gruumsh as a sacrifice, an aspect of Gruumsh may appear and also demand one of the eyes of the orc in question, as Gruumsh also lost an eye. If the orc complies, Gruumsh may offer him or her additional cleric spells, in this case Spiritual Weapon, Augury, Bless, and Command, among others. They also just hit harder than your average orc. You can see a bandage around the eye of this mini. Though note that the stat block calls for a spear and this mini is armed with a sword. They have a CR of 2 and their stat block is in the monster manual. Now we're moving into some of the new orcs included in Volo's Guide. Ilneval is Gruumsh's battle captain, and so orcs who worship him also generally try to serve in those types of leadership positions. The very best become blades, tactical experts who lead from the front lines. They are strong in and of themselves, but they also have the ability to command up to 3 other nearby orcs per turn to take an extra attack. The mini matches the stat block pretty well with the chain shirt, the shield, the longsword, and the javelin. The Orc Blade of Ilneval has a CR of 4. So this orc is probably the one that's going to draw the most attention on the battlefield. When orcs catch a bit of the plague, the orc priests take a few and care for them while letting the plague just take over their body. Then when battle occurs, they unleash these plague-ridden monstrosities in the first wave to soften up their enemies, as they will explode upon death, poisoning anybody nearby. I kind of wish we'd gotten a few of these, as that's a pretty fun thing to throw at a party. Maybe we'll see more in a booster set at some point. Their CR1 half stat block is in Volo's Guide. Another one from Volo's Guide, the Orc Red Fang of Shargaas, who is the orc deity of deep darkness and sneakiness. So it's not really very orcish, really. Worshippers of Shargaas aren't generally welcome in the warband and are often pariahs, but the most skillful among them become elite assassins and thieves. The Red Fangs often ride giant bats into battle. They're also able to cast darkness. They have a CR of 3. The Orc War Chief is generally the strongest member of the tribe. He deals a bit more damage than your standard Orc because Gruumsh has imbued the War Chief's weapons with his own fury. They're also able to inspire the Orcs under their command to perform better in combat, bestowing advantage on their attack rolls with a battle cry. The Orc War Chief has a CR4 stat block in the monster manual. We're not really lacking for Orc minis, but we didn't really have many dedicated minis for those Volo variants, like the Orc Red Fang, the Nurtured One, and the Blade of Ilneval. And most of these minis aren't so specific as to not be usable as standard Orcs if you prefer. If you want to expand your warband even further, there are quite a few Orc minis you can pick from on the aftermarket for not a lot of money, and the Pathfinder Battles Legendary Adventures booster set had 3 common Orc models, an uncommon, and a rare. They're maybe a little bit more on the green side than your D&D orcs, but I think they'll work together pretty well. Now, what I want is an orc encampment set, along the same lines as that goblin village we got last year. That would be really cool. The Orc Warband has an MSRP of $44.99 and is expected to hit store shelves in August. Let me know what you think of the set in the comments section down below, and what warband do you want to see next? We've asked this before, but I was thinking about it a little bit, and I wouldn't mind a skeleton warband, actually. The Boneyard set started to give us more skeletons of the non-human creatures, and I'd love to see kind of that idea expanded upon, or maybe even just a bandit warband. Now, as I'm filming this, tomorrow we are getting our early preview set of Animal Adventures of Faraway Sea with all their new Animal Adventure minis, and I am really excited to share them with you. This is such a fun and creative way to bring new people into the hobby, or even give your regular group a little change of pace. Imagine playing an adventuring party made up of an intelligent husky paladin, a Persian cat warlock, an orangutan bard, and a pig rogue, all exploring a mysterious island chain where there's something sinister going down. That's what Animal Adventures of Faraway Sea offers. Be sure you click that link down below to see more and to get notified when the Kickstarter launches on July 20th, which is less than 2 weeks away. Also, if you want something fun and unique to spice up your games, don't miss out on the pre-order sale going on now at Hit Point Press for their new line of deck of mini animated reference cards. You can get physical animated tarot-sized cards of the 5e OGL spells of all levels, plus animated condition cards that you can pass out when things go wrong for somebody, plus townsfolk NPC when the party decides to chat up random locals, and the in-game magic item, the Deck of Illusions, which is such a fun random toy that should introduce a little bit of non-destructive chaos to your games. If you're skeptical of adding the animated Deck of Many Things to your game, as I am, this is probably a much more palatable option for you. Check out the pre-order deals going on now before it's too late at animatedspells.com. And thank you for watching today. Don't forget to check out Bhaal Volume 1 on dmsguild.com. Over on Twitch and Facebook, I finished my playthrough of this war of mine and just started playing Subnautica Below Zero. I crash landed on a frigid ocean world where I'm trying to find out what happened to my sister, who apparently died mysteriously. I'm also trying to stop some sea monkeys from stealing everything I own, which is fun. And I generally play at 7 p.m. Eastern Time on twitch.tv/thegallantgoblin or over on the Gallant Goblin Facebook page. So come and join me as we can chat as we explore the ocean. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And hit that bell icon down there to be notified when we drop new videos. For now, though, stay safe, have fun, love each other, and I'll see you next time at the Gallant Goblin.